Putin's ultimatum, Europe teeters on the edge, the shocking truth behind the war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin just gave the West an ultimatum to end the war in Ukraine. If the US walks away from this deal, it could lead to the very downfall of Europe. Because deep down our politicians want to weaken and dismember Russia and eventually force a regime change, but US tactics have failed disastrously, destroying Ukraine in the process. The French election has descended into chaos. The budgets are drowning in debt, the economy is in shambles, and the vast majority of Europeans no longer support this war in Ukraine. But only 77 countries signed the final agreement on peace in Ukraine. Thailand, Indonesia, Asia, and the United Arab Emirates refused to sign the joint communiqué, and Brazil attended as an observer, but ultimately chose not to back the agreement. China full-out refused to attend the summit. Professor John Mimer predicted Ukraine's fate back in 2015 and believes that the final communique was watered down from what the Ukrainians really wanted and didn't say much at all. The United States has been the largest global hedon for decades, but 10 countries have refused to agree to these terms, and these countries are either full members of BRICS or plan to join in the near future. The West is in trouble. Democracies are fighting for their survival, and the French elections could change the entire future of Europe. Ground News is a tool that I literally use every single day of my life. There are more than 80 articles published worldwide about Macron's warning, and depending on where you get your information, you could have a very different perspective. So simply go to Ground News for all the major news stories happening right now. If you subscribe through my link, you'll get 40% off unlimited access, which is what I use every day. Ukraine Peace Summit was promoted as a bridge for Ukraine to join NATO, but the Russians have made it clear that NATO expansion into Ukraine is categorically unacceptable. And every time the West talks about bringing Ukraine into NATO, it gives the Russians even greater incentive to wreck Ukraine. Stay tuned for more updates and insights on global affairs by following my account.